Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video of Bleach Mobile 3D. Now what I wanted to do today is, in preparation for the new Ulquiorra dropping soon, I want to do a showcase of one of his main bonds and also just kind of talk about it because I'm working on him quite a bit to actually get things done. And so today is going to be a showcase of the fancy old Captain Gin we have here and his good old shuffles he does. And it should be a good time, because honestly, I'm having a lot of fun trying to test him out, and because I have to upgrade him anyway for Ulquiorra's bonds to try and get him done, because what's going to end up happening is the new Toshiro banner just just ended recently. Next up is going to be a Gin banner, of which will go on for 4 days, and then after Gin goes away, then Ulquiorra V2 will drop. Ulquiorra, if you will. And it should go pretty well, but in general, because I know what bonds to try and work on for the certain character I want, I tried to try and prioritize our buddy old pal called Gin, because it's actually been really fun to try and use. Because Ulquiorra himself, his actual bonds here for attack, you require to have Dongai, you need the Gin, which apparently is HP not attack. Damn it, HP is still pretty good. And the Nell. So I'll have the perfect amount of bonds for him when I go into actually using him properly, which should go extremely, extremely well. I tried to plan around it. So what we're going to do today, so Minos Hunt is currently on, but I'm not really in the mood to try and play it right now, honestly. I don't feel like dodging around or autoing anything. So what we're going to do for today, apparently I don't have my treasure caverns anymore. Damn it. What we are going to do for today is I'm going to get into a team to do probably Midnight Soul Hunt, invading, and then we'll hop into whatever comes up next and see how things go. So I'll see you guys in one moment when I have a full team together. Alrighty, so we are going ahead and loading in now into a fancy old time that is Midnight Soul Hunt, and we should be good to go to just get some stuff done. Now, I didn't really talk about the moveset of Gin himself just yet, because I want to do it just inside the actual battles to talk about how he ends up going. Now, our team is going to end up fighting. So his first is an ability that gives him a little bit of invulnerability for a couple of seconds. It's not a very long invulnerability, honestly. It's not very prevalent. However, it does allow him to try and work past certain attacks that otherwise he would end up being quite weak to. So it's quite helpful. And as well as that, his second is also a silence ability, which allows him to try and get rid of the enemy's actual buffs from that as well. So he is... Right now there's a huge meta around sleep and stun and anything that stops the enemies from moving. But even so, silence is still a really good element to try and use on enemies, especially inside different things. When he does awaken, his abilities do get far, far stronger, and he has better AoEs on it. The issue with it is that it has the exact same capabilities. So the silencing, I feel as if we do have a bleed mechanic inside the game. I would be super down to get a Gin that's based on bleeding out the enemies and poisoning them, because that's kind of what he is based on inside the actual show and stuff. I feel like if he awakened, I would have wanted him to get a bleed mechanic. But all in all, it ain't too bad. I haven't checked out what the effects are for his third strong attack just yet, because you can't actually check that on the skill menu itself. But we'll try and pop it here at some point within the 16 seconds we have left, and see what it ends up giving to him. He also has a couple of attack buffs on things, and he's one of the only characters that when you do end up awakening, he actually gets a brand new normal attack string. Characters that transform, typically, they don't get a huge difference in terms of that. But he's one of the, I say, less rare characters inside the game, so the fact that they gave him the ability in the first place is kind of interesting. Because his normal attacks, usually, you can see it here, actually, I'll do it for you. So, slash, stab, and then sling, swing, down. So it's very basic. However, when he awakens, he gains the ability to get a bunch of stabs on his normal combos, and it gives him a Shinso ability with it, which is quite interesting. If we pop his third right now, we actually get a hit increase. So apparently his third strong attack gives him a hit increase, and I imagine it inflicts silence on the enemies. We can't actually check it efficiently, unfortunately. But I mean, I do feel as if, in terms of starter SSRs, he's one of the better ones that's out there. because his silence is quite good inside Slow Reaper Brawl if you are using him. There is like the stun meta right now anyway, but you can always try and work around that regardless. And he does pretty decent work all in all. Like, you can see here, you can't actually check his third ability, but you can get the vulnerability, you get the silence, and his assist ability is also the silence itself, which I don't know if it's like an area around him or what ends up happening, but it is helpful. What we'll also do here, I wanted to hop into invading. Let's go ahead and get a run done. Oh. But yeah, so I'm trying to plan around the characters I plan to pull for in the future and trying to get like my general schedule as to who I want to pick all kind of laid out. Right now, what I'm thinking the most, Shinji, and I don't know if it was a Rankar Aizen, I don't think it is, their trade back is going to be available on, or Shinji's trade back at least, is going to be available on the Swimsuit Unohana banner. And while I care remarkably less about a swimsuit unit like that, I've realized that she's pretty relevant in the Chinese version right now anyway, and also I would love to get Shinji, and whatever trade back was alongside it. I remember both being important for me. That's the important part. But I really want to try and pursue that, because I do feel as if that's a really good banner to go in on. So probably go for Ulquiorra V2. I currently have like 30 extra tickets or so. I'm probably just going to go for the guaranteed copy of him, and then try and go for whatever banner's next, like the Unohana. And I'm trying to generally collect certain units. Recently on the Chinese version, apparently, they dropped the Arankar Gin character, and his moveset actually seems really, really cool. He has like a really weird effect to him where it has his sword itself becomes huge on his normal attacks. So it's not that it gets longer only, it's also it gets like thicker, which looks really strange in terms of effects, but I kind of love it. And I'll probably end up going in on him if he comes out to this version of the game anytime soon, aka in like 100 days or so. But that's kind of where I was thinking in terms of going next in terms of the banners that I'll pull on. Because while Swimsuit Unohana is like 30 days away beyond Ulquiorra, I believe, or something similar to that, so it's going to be a lot of planning to try and get done. I feel like I'm going to want to go in on a Rankar Gin and Stark. All of these, by the way, all of these banners and the order of them and stuff in the future, you can check out into the Discord in the description that I have linked that says Bleach Mobile 3D. It has a full list of the future banners that come out to the Chinese version of the game, and it's just generally helpful for trying to plan around characters you want. Like, for example, if you want to get Ulquiorra Basic and Ulquiorra V2, there is a banner that has a trade back for both of them at the same time. So if you try to plan around that, you can get both of them if you're a little bit more patient. So there's quite a few things that end up working quite well, and trying to plan around that is really important. But yeah, there's a lot of weird, because of the way they structure these banners and because of the way they end up doing all of this, it's a really weird way of trying to completely plan out your future. And I'm doing a better job planning my future inside this game than I am my actual IRL future. It's kind of wild, honestly. But you know, that's how things go sometimes. Sometimes you need to try and plan around your Rankar Gin. I can't predict where I'm going to be in like 2 months. I can predict where my phone's going to be in my pocket, where I can play more of this video game. So it's weird, but it's kind of great, honestly. It's a nice like structure to things. I do feel as if there is a point where you feel like you don't want to do dailies as much because you're already invested in the fact that you're not going to pull on anything for another, like, oh, 15 more days until this character I care about comes out, so I'll just have to keep on sitting on it. There's a difference between a new banner being announced and then dropping immediately on a gacha game versus a game where you know every banner coming up in the future and you don't know which ones you want to go in on, or you know exactly which ones you want to go in on. So you're so concerned about it that you don't actually try and, like, I don't know. You think too much and stress too much about new characters versus just pulling for a gacha, which this game does incite bigger senses of planning because there is no chances of pulling the full character. So I guess it makes sense. But at the same time, there have been times on BBS, for example, where I'm saving for an anniversary, and I'm sitting on that. I'm so excited for it. But then the week before anniversary, they drop a Heart Stark for White Day, and you're like, well, shit, man. Guess I'm gonna fucking go in on this banner now. And that is missing from a game that is like this, where you have to plan around things so distinctly. There is that sense of that via the limited time recruitments. Granted, I don't know how those work. I don't know which ones have already been confirmed for the Chinese version, and I did install the Chinese version in my phone already, but I haven't really gotten the chance to go play it, to check out all the different characters that came around. I only know about, like, actual full banners. I only know about those things because of my experiences myself. But yeah, it's very interesting how the differences between the two different kinds of these are. Like, even when I played Spiritual Awakening and Death Awakening and stuff, I still felt as if there was a chance of me being able to go in on True Shikai Ichigo when I had 80 keys versus having the full 120, I believe you needed, 160. I don't remember. There's a number that you needed to guarantee them awakening before the end of it. But there was still that feeling that there was always a chance of, oh, but he just became it in like 30 keys, and now I get the full character for free. Which creates a lot of excitement. It creates a lot of, like, spontaneity inside a game like this. So, I might go and check out what characters come to the future of, like, the limited time recruitments and the smaller recruitment event banners. Because if there are characters inside there that are interesting and aren't just seasonals that are revamped, like if it's not just, oh, Succubus Rukia, oh, fucking, oh, Halloween Rangiku, so cool, neato. If it's not just the basic like that, and it's actually like, oh, this is, I don't know, what's a good example? This is, what's a character that doesn't matter that much that I'm kind of interested in? This is a SSR Hanataro that will just be able to do a lot of work for you. That's just completely random and just comes around to limited recruitment at some point during a server. That's cooler. And a banner like that actually has a chance of giving you the character throughout your pulls. You feel excitement when that first happens, and it gives you this like guttural, yeah, I got the thing! Like, a lot of people got the New Year's Rukia within their first, like, 30 pulls on the banner, which is actually really, really lucky. But that's the feeling that's missing from the main banners. So, I think that both have their own benefits to it, but I personally care far less about seasonals, even in BBS, personally. And I care more about, like, canon versions of characters. I would sooner have, like, a cool version of Gun Stark inside BBS than the, like, new White Day Heart Stark that uses his guns, kind of. Because I just prefer the design more. I like their actual, like, neat factors to it. So, it's curious. It's a balance, definitely. That's kind of design, and that's how you try and balance around, like, how do you keep it fresh for people as they play the game more and more, and don't just have these banners be completely planned out. But what we will do now, I just want to do a quick check. There is someone that's currently ready to go do Squad 13. So I guess I'm going to wait here with this person to go and do Squad 13 with Geen and everything, and just have a good time with it. So I guess I'll see you guys in 1 second when we finish off the rest of this video. Alright, so we are hopping into Squad 13 here with a couple of friends, couple of buddies. We're just going to have a good time with it. Now, I don't personally know if there will be a particular survivability to the enemies we're fighting, because unfortunately, they pop like pimples when you fight a bunch of level 100s. But we'll try and do our best here anyway. All in all, I haven't shown off the actual awakening animation of Geen himself just yet. It's actually pretty neat. He like grows and it become big, but it's not really anything too special, honestly. And I mean, he works out. He does his things. I feel as if, in terms of characters, I love Geen a lot, but he never really gets the justice that he deserves in most of these games. The only version of Geen that was actually particularly relevant in most of these games, that was like end game super hype awesome, was the Heart Geen when he first dropped inside BBS in the first place. I remember he was the 600 SP Soul Reaper Killer hero. It was just fantastic. But like, even when the Mind Geen dropped for the first time, he wasn't great. He was pretty neat, but his actual abilities weren't up to snuff with a lot of different things, because it was just post 6 stars, I believe. So I remember Soifon and someone else got, as well as Geen, or yeah, like the Mind Geen. They all got their 6 stars for the first time when it first came around. So I feel as if I'm hoping that the version of Geen that just dropped over on the Chinese version of the game, CN, I'm hoping that that one is going to be especially relevant in the future, because that's kind of what I care about the most. I'm like direly hoping to have a Geen I can just play as always whenever I want to, and not really worry about it like being, oh, but he's worse for doing these particular things. And I want to be able to play Solo Reaper Brawl with my favorite characters, man. Just give me Starks. Just fucking give me Geens. Give me Ulquiorras. Pour them into my veins and just keep on going. Did someone just leave the thing? Huh. Well, hey, Ruigen. Appreciate your patronage. You're a real good dude. You're sticking with me through this entire furry combat. And we'll just go ahead and get through this. I actually don't know what order they do these in, weirdly enough. Because it's... Soifon would be Squad 2. What was after her? Was it Jushiro after her? Either way, if this is going to be... So this is stage... I'm just gonna auto this. This is stage 7. It is not in order because Retsu is in Squad 4. Interesting. So I wonder how they chose the order to this. Is it the relevancy in terms of the metas? Because I mean, Aizen and Yamamoto are kind of at the end of this, so maybe? Who knows? Maybe they just kind of picked them at random and was like, this guy's cool, and this one. I guess Kenpachi and Byakuya are also toward the tail end of this as well. Alrighty. Oh, interestingly enough, actually, I just want to mention this as well. So I joined a new association recently called Xavier. Because Sailor Moon was just really uncooperative, and a lot of people inside there just intentionally avoided playing with others for some reason. But Xavier's been very welcoming and fantastic, and they've also been gifting me 2 White Ichigo shards per day. So at this point, I'm actually getting really, really close to getting him fully. I think I'm at 46 shards in total right now. So within the next couple of days, within the next like week or so, I should have a showcase out on White Ichigo as well, and have another attack bond for Dongai. So he's going to be super good to actually use. He doesn't actually go into Bankai form, so it's less cool, but I'm still going to end up taking it. And I feel as if after I do that, I've tried to use all of my character trials to collect shards of characters I don't actually... Well, I use them, but I don't actually want to have shards for, because I already have them unlocked and I can give them to other people. What I've been doing mostly is trying to get Dongai every single day on character trial and give those shards to people that are asking for them throughout the entirety of the organization, and the association and stuff, because you can only get 1 Dongai shard per day from the association, but people that did not pull for him can just get a copy of him for free because of it. And I feel like that's kind of the kindest way to try and go about things inside this game. If you have a character that's kind of rare, just start giving the shards to people inside your association afterwards. Like... when Ulquiorra V2 drops, for example, I'm probably never going to end up using his actual shards aside from the universal ones I can get just off of it, because I'm probably going to end up just getting a metric fuck ton of his shards from character trial and just give them all to the people inside the association. And that's kind of a nice free-to-play friendly way to help your friends out as well. So I think it's kind, it's nice, it's real pleasant. And I quite enjoy it. There's not many games that inspire this form of, like, guildmate cooperation. Like, Spiritual Awakening had a system similar to this game where you kind of give a donation and you also do the whole worship thing. You press the button to give them stamina, and also you get stamina in return as well for the top people inside the association itself. But this game is just straight up, these people want these shards to try and actually play with whatever they want to do. You want to help them out? Oh, you do? They can also thank you for your services. It's so weird. There's so few games that do that. And if every single game I ever played had a thank you button, I'd be fucking down for it. You know me, in like Bounty Rush, I always want to say GG whenever it's a good match, because it's always super fun. And I care about the most out of a game like this. Community, I care about, like, the fun of it. I care about how it ends up playing and everything, and how they end up structuring things and updating it. This game kind of hits on all those perfect points as well. I think I would say it's my favorite game right now. Like, genuinely, but I don't know what a game would have to do to top this. I do think that there's a little bit of a weird flow to certain things inside the game and how they end up working. Because there's certain things that don't quite click for me, like the entire having to invest all the way. But even so, there's decisions in both ways that are absolutely fantastic. It makes me quite happy. However, that is my dailies for today. I will go ahead and use that Marshall chest. I do have classes in the afternoon today, so I do probably have to rush out of the house sometime soon because it is kind of getting to there. But I'm going to pop this off. Thank you kindly for all of these. I'm also collecting a bunch of these onigiris to try and get the Ulquiorra upgrade immediately after he drops. I'm hoping that they have a double drop event during it. And I've also been trying to invest in more Hogyokus because you know me. I also want to upgrade the whole Shinso thing of Gin himself because he's been doing a really good job for me. Like here, I can pop another upgrade into him, and all of these power increases I'm giving to him right now will all affect the Ulquiorra down the line as well. It's super nice. It's so nice to be able to plan ahead, man. Just in general. However, for the final thing we're going to do today, let's go ahead, and I wanted to hop into here. Bond, gallery. Where is my Genie boy? Genie boy, trial. I'm going to end it with trying to get a shot for the thumbnail. It's going to be the way to fade this out. You ready for this? So I disappear. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this episode of Bleach Mobile 3D. And finally, I don't know, extend Shinso.